Good Monday evening, September 16th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. 3 clean energy projects in north central Washington are receiving a combined $5.6 million in Washington Department of Commerce grants. A California police officer with almost 300,000 TikTok followers will speak with assemblies in local high schools this week. Expect windy conditions tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures for Wednesday and Thursday. Your complete local forecast is on the way. A Confluence Health neurologist who was arrested on suspicion of causing 2 hit-and-run accidents last year has resigned from the health service. 51-year-old Dr. Shannon Gross-Didier was suspected of driving under the influence and striking a parked car in East Wenatchee and a fence in Wenatchee before police pulled her over and arrested her on October 25th. She is still awaiting trial in East Wenatchee Municipal Court. Gross-Didier's attorney, Jeremy Burke, told NCWLIFE News today that she decided to retire from Confluence this month after 20 years on staff. He said she is also enrolled in a mental health and substance abuse treatment program over the last 6 months. An initial charge of DUI against Gross-Didier was withdrawn while Chalan County prosecutors await blood testing results. They say they will pursue a DUI case if the evidence warrants it. Chalan County Sheriff Mike Morrison is advising local residents to be wary of fraudulent business activity after SafeLight Auto Glass warned of an ongoing scam targeting people seeking auto glass replacement. SafeLight reported that individuals posing as SafeLight technicians have been luring customers with offers of discounted glass replacement over Facebook Marketplace. The scam victims are then instructed to schedule an appointment and pay over a third-party app. When a person posing as a SafeLight technician arrives, they say the cost is higher than the amount the victim already paid. There have been 5 incidents in the last week alone. The sheriff's office is urging everyone to always verify contact information, be wary of unusual payment requests, and always check employee credentials. 3 clean energy projects in north central Washington are receiving a combined $5.6 million in Washington Department of Commerce grants. In Rock Island, the Washington State University Sunrise Research Orchard, where new apple growing practices are perfected, plans to install a $2.4 million solar-powered shading project to control shade conditions for trees and help increase fruit yields. Sage Cliff Resort and Spa outside Quincy will use a $2.5 million grant to build a similar shade system at its vineyard. And Polar Defense, a Moses Lake startup, will receive $660,000 to create an air capture system that harvests carbon dioxide for aviation fuel. The funding is part of a $37 million round of grants from money raised through the state's Climate Commitment Act. Wenatchee Valley College is a recipient of a National Science Foundation grant that will help prepare students for a career in data centers. The 3-year, nearly $350,000 grant will support a critical environments for data center operations project and will be led by Wenatchee Valley College's Environmental Systems and Refrigeration Technology program. In a press release, project supervisor Greg Jordan said the need for data centers is creating large demand for employees capable of maintaining the facilities. The project is designed to help address the skilled labor shortage by equipping students with technical skills and providing hands-on experience. The project will also help develop partnerships with local employers to get students career ready. When we come back, the Dahlia Garden at the Rocky Reach Discovery Center is now nationally recognized, and applications are now open for the Washington State University Chelan Douglas Master Gardener Basic Training Course. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect, one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Riley Gaines, the All-American female swimmer at the University of Kentucky, is our guest speaker for the Chalan County Republican Lincoln Day Dinner and Fundraiser, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Riley's call to action is to defend and protect America's daughters from competing with and sharing locker rooms with biological men. Join us for an exciting evening with Riley Gaines and support our local candidates. VIP event at 5, dinner at 6. Go to Chalan County Lincoln Day at gmail.com for tickets.
Paid for by the Chalan County Republican Central Committee.
Hi, I'm Mike Steele, and I've been honored to serve you as our state representative for District 12 for the last 8 years. With experience in several leadership roles in civic organizations, as well as being a lifelong resident, I've championed projects that have made a difference in our community. I plan to continue the progress we've made together.
Re-elect Mike Steele, your voice in Olympia. Together we can achieve more. Visit votemikesteele.com. Paid for by the citizens to elect Mike Steele.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
A California police officer with almost 300,000 TikTok followers will speak with assemblies and local high schools this week. Ryan Tillman is a Chino Police Department corporal and founder of Breaking Barriers United. That's a nonprofit dedicated to improving communication between police and their communities. East Wenatchee Police Chief Rick Johnson says multiple community groups partnered to bring Tillman to the Wenatchee Valley, and Eastmont School Resource Officer Isaac Cooper helped coordinate the visit. He's scheduled to address assemblies at Eastmont and Kashmir High Schools tomorrow, plus Chalan and Wenatchee High Schools on Wednesday. The Dahlia Garden at the Rocky Reach Discovery Center is now nationally recognized. Rocky Reach and its ground crews were honored with a commemorative medal on September 7th by the American Dahlia Society in recognition of outstanding contributions to the promotion, growth, and expansion of dahlias. The Dahlia Garden was one of the first flower beds planted by Tony DeRoy, the first landscaper of the Chalan County PUD. DeRoy designed the American flag flower bed and the Chalan PUD flower logo at Rocky Reach Park and launched the local chapter of the American Dahlia Society. Dahlias grow from tubers that multiply during growing season, and volunteers from the local Dahlia Society sell the Rocky Reach tubers as a fundraiser in the spring. Applications are now open for the WSU Chelan Douglas Master Gardener Basic Training Course. The annual program consists of online learning through Washington State University and weekly in-person classes with WSU faculty and Master Gardener volunteers. The classes will begin on January 17th and continue each following Friday until April 18th at the Douglas County Transportation and Land Services Building. They'll cover topics including soil science, pest management, plant identification, and more. The program costs $185 per person. Applications can be submitted on the organization's website until October 15th. Coming up next, Chalan County commissioners are concerned over the federal plan to reintroduce grizzly bears to the North Cascades, which they worry will endanger orchards, ranches, and recreationists in rural areas. More coming up in tonight's feature story. Breezy weather conditions today with even windier weather expected tomorrow. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Public notice! With summer ending, there's never a better time than now to get your new or used RV at Click It RV. New RVs for $199 over invoice, and used RVs priced below Blue Book. Top brands like Grand Design, Winnebago, Rockwood, and more. Priced at deals you'll never see again. No payments until 2025 and low, first time ever interest rates for the summer end liquidation sale. Nobody beats a Click It RV deal.
I'm Richard Sherman, and We guarantee it.
Trades welcome. Don't miss this liquidation event going on now at a Click It RV store near you. Click It RV.
Thank you for trusting Abby's legendary pizza for 60 years. Your hard-earned money supports hundreds of youth working at our parlors, dozens and dozens of nonprofits and school teams throughout the area. At Abby's, doing good in the neighborhood has never tasted so delicious. Can you smell it? It's not arugula and pear. It's bacon, and cheddar. Yep. Everybody's favorite pizza is back on sale this month at Abby's, loaded with 2 kinds of bacon and real cheddar cheese. Enjoy Abby's September special at a very special price.
Lifeline Ambulance has partnered with Washi Valley Tech to provide EMT certification training within the high school. This opens up career opportunities in EMS, fire, and other medical fields, and gives these students a leg up when entering the workforce.
Students at Wenatchee Valley Tech, through our partnership with Lifeline Ambulance, can now earn their National Registry EMT certification.
I'm Jim Heinlein, agent at Springwater Insurance here in North Central Washington. As a licensed agent, we can't disclose any plan changes as it relates to Medicare year 2025, but we are getting ahead of all of these upcoming changes that will affect you. We have rented the entire upstairs ballroom for the first 3 days of October. You will get all your Medicare questions answered, but don't miss this talk or I'll explain all your options. To save a seat, give us a call now.
Chalan County commissioners are concerned over the federal plan to reintroduce grizzly bears to the North Cascades, which they worry will endanger orchards, ranches, and recreationists in rural areas. U.S. Fish and Wildlife and the National Park Service expect to bring 25 bears into the wilderness over a 5 to 10 year period. Commissioners will hold a set of meetings at locations around the county at 6 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Aside from federal wildlife officials, Trina Jo Bradley will also appear on the panel. She's a Montana rancher and one of the architects of that state's plan to manage the big bears once they're removed from the endangered species list. In tonight's features story, she spoke with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins.
How did your work on the ranch and how did your experience working around grizzlies translate into a role sort of advising on the management of grizzlies?
So my dad used to carry this torch when I was a kid, and he used to, try to just get change and more help for producers. And so when he stepped away from that role, I said, well, I guess it's time for me to take my turn. And really, it's just because ranchers need a voice. And they didn't have that voice in, 40 years ago. Nobody cared what the ranchers thought. The government was just going to do what the government was going to do. But now we're to the point that they actually realize that working lands are important and we need working lands in order for all this wildlife to have a place to live. And so now they've come back around to that conversation of involving us in management planning. And I think it's been awesome.
I think that grizzlies have been a presence in your area your whole life and before. Here in the North Cascades area, it would be kind of a new experience. Nobody's really seen a grizzly in our area for a couple of decades. So if reintroduction goes forward in the North Cascades, if federal officials bring back the great bear to the North Cascades area, what do you think residents around the North Cascades ecosystem need to know?
Be aware. Washington has a large population of black bears, if I'm not mistaken. So you should already be doing things like containing your garbage, picking up apples off the ground and not leaving them for the bears to come in and eat. And it's much the same for grizzly bears. I think grizzly bears are different in that livestock producers have to worry more about grizzly bears. But honestly, bear safety should be a thing that's happening in Washington anyway.
Did bear management in your area, is that complicated? If you observe or find evidence that a grizzly has been invading your area, causing stress on your cattle, maybe even killing a cow, are you allowed to take steps, or do you need to engage with the state or federal government beforehand?
That's a good question. In Montana, grizzly bears are protected by the 4D rule, which means there is no take allowed, take meaning lethal take, by anyone except for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and whomever they decide can do that. So as a rancher, I can't do anything. I can try to chase the bear away. I can try to scare it away. I can call. So in Montana Wildlife Services, Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service are all involved in grizzly bear management. And so those are the 3 phone calls that I make if something goes wrong. And it's a pretty simple process, really. And I'm hoping that Washington can get there in the coming years before the grizzly bears show up.
Do you feel after, working in your role for a number of years and working in ranching, do you feel you have the tools now that you need to deal with grizzlies where you are?
Absolutely not. Until grizzly bears are removed from the endangered species list, we will not be able to manage them in a way that is helpful to ranchers, period.
It sounds like some of the frustration is in dealing with these federal agencies that protect the bears. So what steps do you think that here in the North Cascades area, as reintroduction goes forward, what steps should the Fish and Wildlife Service, the National Park Service take to engage with the residents?
Education and outreach is important. They need to be having bear fairs. They need to be letting people know that they're coming. They need to be letting people know this is how you deal with it. This is how you contain your trash. This is how you behave in bear country, whether you're hiking or camping or living there. There's so many aspects of being safe. And we have to remember that this always comes down to human safety when we're talking about grizzly bears. I don't want my cows to die either, but I certainly don't want my little girl to get eaten. And that's what we need to focus on, is human safety.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fabulous weekend and a great start to this week today. Nice weather over the weekend, and it was another nice one out there today. Looking down at the Wenatchee Valley outside our weather window from this afternoon. This is the shot from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera, and boy, nothing but blue sky out there this afternoon. Temperatures very comfortable. Just a little breeze, but I wouldn't call it windy by any means, at least through our afternoon hours, but that will change as we get you into Tuesday, because we do expect some windier conditions as we get into Tuesday. We thought we might see winds about 18 miles an hour. That really hasn't happened today. Most of the wind has been up north around Omak, coming down through Waterville, also into Moses Lake. Seeing winds about 15 to 20 today, but look what happens tomorrow. Here we are. We could see a wind gust of around 28 miles an hour in Wenatchee. Check out Ellensburg. 43-mile-an-hour wind gusts could happen by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon. But as I mentioned, it was a nice one out there today. Some think it's almost perfect at 80 degrees, and that's 3 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. 77 is our normal high. Our record set back in 1981. We hit 92 degrees. 54 this morning, right in line pretty much with where we should be for this time of year. Our normal low is 53, and our record 39, and that was set in 1992. Sunrise 6:40 this morning and sets tonight at 7:09. Getting you into that Tuesday forecast. Temperatures will be just, I think, slightly cooler tomorrow, mainly because of that northwest wind. 78 at Moses Lake and Ephrata. Quincy, you will hit 78 tomorrow, and then just a little cooler back to the west. Wenatchee and Entiat at about 76. Chalan, you will see 77. Middle 70s for Leavenworth and Cashmere, and the cool spot tomorrow, Lake Wenatchee, with a very comfortable high of 72 degrees. All right, tonight we can expect mostly clear skies. There is a trough of low pressure that's beginning to develop off the coast of British Columbia. That will be a player in our weather as we get you into Tuesday. Lows tonight, by the way, low to mid 50s for Tuesday. Here's that trough of low pressure. Also low pressure off to our east, and we're kind of sandwiched in between that. So we'll see some breezy conditions on Tuesday, as we talked about. Increasing clouds and cooler with high temperatures tomorrow into those mid 70s. For Wednesday, mostly sunny skies as a large area of high pressure begins to push into the Pacific Northwest. We're going to warm up a little bit too, with highs on Wednesday mainly into those upper 70s, and that warm up will continue as we get into Thursday. Probably one of the nicest days of the week, mostly sunny and warm. We're we're going to creep back up to near 80 degrees as we get you into Thursday. And boy, that goes for a big chunk of eastern Washington. A beautiful day as we get into the end of the week. For football Friday, mostly sunny skies. It will be just slightly cooler. Another trough of low pressure is forming off the coast of BC and a very strong northwesterly flow. That'll cool us back, mid-70s for high temperatures on Friday. And then for the weekend, partly cloudy skies. A double shot of low pressure is really going to push into the northwest on Saturday. We could see some rain showers late after midnight, early Sunday morning, low 70s for highs on Saturday. And then for Sunday, the Weather Service really isn't talking much about rain. This model is. So I'm going to go with partly cloudy skies and isolated showers on Sunday, with temperatures about where they should be on Sunday, with highs in the mid-70s. All right, your 7-day forecast, 54 overnight tonight, a mix of clouds and sun for your Tuesday and Wednesday. Breezy conditions tomorrow, 76 the high tomorrow, 78 on Wednesday. Boy, it looks like Thursday is going to be one of the nicer days of the 7. Mostly sunny and 79, mostly sunny and cooler for your Friday and 76. And then we'll cool off with more clouds this weekend, a chance for showers late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And then I think another chance for some isolated rain showers Sunday afternoon, with a high temperature this weekend generally in the low to mid 70s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Steelhead Cider offers 20 taps with cider, beer, and wine, featuring views of the lake, great music, and fantastic flights. Find it on Wooden Ave behind the bookstore in downtown Chelan.
Kelly's Classic Ace Hardware Store. From the minute you walk through the door, you'll feel the difference. Kelly's revives the days of personal service lost in the big box stores of today. Kelly's Ace Hardware in classic downtown Chelan.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
And a good Monday to you. The Seahawks are 2-0 after an overtime win in New England on Sunday. It didn't come easily as Seattle fell behind in the fourth quarter with the Patriots getting ready to go up 24-17 with a field goal. But that's when Julian Love came through with a block of the Patriots attempt. That gave Seattle the ball back and gave it back to the hot hand of Geno Smith down the wire. Geno led a drive down the field for Jason Myers. 38-yard field goal with under a minute left in regulation to send the game into overtime, tied at 20. Seattle's defense held New England's first possession in overtime, and Geno Smith led the attack, putting Myers in position for a 31-yard chip shot to win the game 23-20. Coach Mike McDonald was all smiles afterwards, seeing his team hang together throughout a very tough football game.
Man, it was what a heck of a football game. We knew the game was going to come down to the fourth quarter. Didn't expect it to come down to the fifth quarter, but whatever it takes. Just proud. Just proud of the fight, the resiliency, the confidence, the support, the togetherness of our football team. So that's a really good football team. We just played tough. Obviously, they ran the ball really well. They stopped the run, but our guys came through in the end. And then just proud of our guys. When we need to make a play, it seems like on all three phases, the guys made plays without, inventing techniques or whatever. Just kind of played through the scheme, played through their fundamentals, and we closed it out at the end. So just a great football game, and excited to get back home.
Seattle sits atop the NFC West after the 49ers were shocked at Minnesota 23-17. Arizona soundly beat the Rams 41-10. Washington State won the 116th version of the Apple Cup Saturday at Lumen Field in Seattle. John Mateer led the way for the Cougars, amassing 307 yards of offense with 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 through the air. The game, though, would come down to a 4th and 1 from the WSU 2. Washington option right fell short. They wouldn't get it. The Cougars spread them out and made the stop. Jake Dickert's second win of the series, the first since 2021.
First off, I just want to say how proud I am of this football team. I mean, we talked about it being a week's worth of work. It wasn't a week's worth of work. It was 9.5 months grinding, staying together, working. You know, our captain, Newsom Milani, in the players' meeting, he said, we're not going to beat this team because we hate these guys. We're going to beat this team because we love each other. And that's exactly what you saw in the fourth quarter. These guys never flinched. They kept swinging. And most importantly, they believe in one another. So just a hell of a win. Really proud for Cougs everywhere. To come on this neutral field, it's just awesome.
Congrats to the Cougs. They are 3-0. The Mariners took 3 of 4 from Texas over the weekend, including a 1-hit shutout by George Kirby and a couple of relievers on Sunday. Seattle pounded out 14 hits in the 7-0 victory, including homers by Mitch Garver and Randy Arozarena.
Garver high out to left center. Does it have enough on it at the wall? Yes is the answer. Mitch Garver just posted a 3-run jack, and the Mariners have taken an early lead. Fly ball, pasted, left field, and it almost goes to the upper deck. The 4th consecutive 2020 campaign for Randy Arozarena.
Seattle kept pace with Houston as the Astros beat the Angels Sunday 6-4. The White Sox edged the A's 4-3. Seattle's chances in the wildcard race are much better after the Twins lost 2 of 3 to the Reds over the weekend. Mariners and Tigers are now both 2.5 games back at 77 and 73 after the weekend. Eastmont dropped the home opener on Friday night here on the NCWLIFE channel. Post Falls came to town and made just enough plays to win 14-7. Wildcats had 4 interceptions in the game, turning only 1 of which into points. The Wildcats also hampered by penalties, 12 for 90 yards in the contest. Wenatchee also lost its home opener Friday, falling to Mount Si 44-21. Moses Lake improved to 1-1 with a 30-23 win over North Creek. Cashmere raced out to a 34-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Never looked back, winning its home opener Friday over Cowan Benton 68-0. Zilla and Royal also big winners on Friday. Ephrata took the Battle of the Basin over Quincy 33-zip. Sealy, East Valley, and Toppenish also winners. It was the first time for Toppenish to beat Prosser, by the way, since 1988. Omak dropped the to 0-2 on the season with a 48-20 loss to Meridian. Chelan edged Brewster 14-12. 2B football winners included Tico, Rosalia, Reardon, Okanagan, Lynn, Ritzville, Sprague, and Tonasket. For the 1Bs, Odessa, Soap Lake, and DeSales were clear winners. We'll be back with more football live coverage on Friday nights. Wenatchee hosting Eisenhower at Lieboftel Field of the Apple Bowl. Join Grant Olson, Brandon Hartley, and yours truly for the pregame at 6:30. Turning to some soccer, 10 girls soccer matches dotted the landscape on Saturday. Meade doubled up Eastmont 4-2. Glacier Peak got by Wenatchee 2-1. Othello and Quincy played to a 0-0 tie. Toppenish upended Cascade 3-2. Bush clobbered Chelan. Other winners included Liberty Bell, Davenport, Pateros, Lakeside, and Napa Vine. Brewster, Curlew, Tonasket, and Omak were head-to-head winners in prep volleyball Saturday. Davis surprised Wenatchee in the championship game of the Sundome Volleyball Festival. Manson took the small team title with a 25-8 win over Stevenson. NCWLIFE slated to be at Wenatchee High School tomorrow night for the Panthers and West Valley Rams and Big Nine Volleyball. Join yours truly with the pregame a little bit before 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.